Okay, students, welcome back. In previous clippings, we have discussed already the atmospheric pressure and different types of features of the different types of atmospheric pressure belts. And in these clippings, we are going to discuss the major atmospheric winds. Okay, so let us start. Look at this diagram. From this diagram, it is very clear that the different pressure conditions on the earth surface have a very important consequences, and they make air move, because when discussing with that diagram, then we have discussed that the air moves from this one to this place, and also from high pressure to low pressure belt, from this portion to the equatorial region. So actually our air is moving always. Air is not constant. Air is always moving. When the air is moving, so that moving air is called the wind. And we may not be able to see the wind, because we know that wind are not visible, or air is not visible. We just feel the wind. Or we can say the direction, from which directions the winds are blown, we can say that, but winds are not visible. Now we use an instrument to study the wind direction, because as we are not able to see the wind or air, so we have to use the instrument. Okay, so by the helping of that instrument, we can say that from which direction the wind is blowing. That instrument is known as the wind vane. Winds are named according to the direction from which they originate. Very important line it is. Suppose any winds coming from the northwestern sides to southwestern side, so that the name of that wind will be northeastern winds. Look at the board. Suppose this is the southernmost portion of our country, and suppose the winds are blown from this side. This is the southwestern sides, because you know that there are four main direction, that is north, south, east, west. This is the main direction, and there are also some intermediate direction, that is known as northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. So if the winds are blown from this side to this side like this, so the winds are blowing from southwestern sides to northeastern sides, right? Look at the diagram very carefully. Match it with this diagram. If the winds are blown from southwestern side to northeastern, will be eastern, northeastern sides, then the name of that wind will not be northeastern wind. The name will be southwestern wind. But if the winds are coming from this side, and the originate portion is this northeast and southwest, so that wind, the name of that wind will be northeastern wind. In this case, the name of the wind will be southwestern wind, and in this case the name of the wind will be northeastern wind. So from which place the winds have started to originate, the name will be according to that direction. Okay, this is clear, I think. If the winds are blown from southwestern side, the name will be southwestern winds. If the wind blows from the northeastern sides to southwestern sides, then the name will be northeastern winds. Now there are different types of terms we have used. When winds are very gentle in manner, then we can call it breeze. So the another name of the wind is breeze. When wind is very gentle manner, then we can say that it is breeze. When the wind has a destructive power, then we can call it the thunderstorm. Okay, so the wind has different types of name based on wind's features. Different types of features. Now previously I have told you that by the help of wind vane we determine the direction of the wind. Now wind speed is measured with the help of an instrument. The name is the anemometer. Now winds are affected by the rotation of the earth. Why? We know that the earth has the rotational movement which takes 24 hours. So winds are also affected by that movement. How? We know that air or wind is always moving, but it is not always straight in manner. Instead of blowing straight from an area of high pressure to an area of low pressure, the winds are deflected or turned aside by the force of rotation. Because we know that the earth movements, rotational movements is always continuing. That's why always the winds are not blown from high pressure belt to the low pressure belt in a straight manner. That air is always turned aside or deflected, not in a straight manner, by the force of rotation. This force is known as the Coriolis force. Coriolis force. So, when the wind is not blown in a straight manner and it is deflected or turned aside, then this force is known as Coriolis force. Understand? This deflection is explained by Farrell's law. This deflection is explained by Farrell's law. Very important it is. Farrell's law. What is Farrell's law? Farrell's law always states that freely moving bodies, not only wind, any freely moving bodies on the earth's surface are deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere, and it is constant that any freely moving body is always deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere. Suppose 1 minute, you know that this is the northern hemisphere and this is southern hemisphere. So in the northern hemisphere the winds are always deflected in the right side of the northern hemisphere and the left side of the southern hemisphere. Okay, so when the winds are deflected to the right side in the northern hemisphere and left side on the southern hemisphere, then this deflection we can say that it is known as Farrell's law. So deflection is known as Coriolis force, and this Coriolis force we can explain by Farrell's law. Farrell's law states that the freely moving bodies always deflected right side in the northern hemisphere and left side in the southern hemisphere. So this is the main thing of the Farrell's law. Now we will discuss about the different types of winds. There are mainly 3 types of wind. Number 1, permanent wind, and the another name is planetary wind. Number 2, periodic wind, and number 3, local wind. Now one by one we will discuss about the different types of wind. Firstly, we have to discuss about the permanent wind. What is about permanent wind? Permanent winds are winds that blow between the major pressure belts of the world. In that diagram, we have noticed some directions of the wind, so that are known as the permanent winds. Permanent winds are also known as the prevailing winds or the planetary winds. They are of 3 types. trade winds, and then westerlies, and then polar winds. So we can categorize the permanent winds into three types. A, the trade winds. B, the westerlies. And C, the polar winds. Okay, so permanent wind or planetary wind or prevailing wind can be further categorized into three types: trade winds, westerlies, and polar winds. Now, what is about trade winds? The trade winds blow from the subtropical high pressure belt to the subtropical low pressure belt. Before reading this, you also have to look into that diagram, different types of pressure belts and winds. So the trade winds blow from the subtropical high pressure belt. This is subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low pressure belt. Look at this arrow. This arrow is coming from the northeastern sides to the southwestern sides, right? Look at the arrow. The winds are coming from the subtropical high to the equatorial low pressure belt. They blow in the tropical zone from the northeast to the southwest and in the northern hemisphere. And to the southwest, look at this arrow also. In this portion, the winds are blown from the southwest to the northeast. This is the southwest and this is northeast. Okay. Thus, in the northern hemisphere, they are called the northeast trade winds. In the northern hemisphere, these winds are known as northeast trade winds. But in the southern hemisphere, the same winds are known as southeast trade winds. Okay, and the trade winds blow constantly and they always blow in the same direction. When you will practice the diagram, you also have to keep it in mind the direction of arrow, because the direction will be same. The constancy of these winds was very useful for sailors in the past. They charted their course knowing that the trade winds would not change their direction or stop blowing suddenly, leaving them trapped. Okay. Now the westerlies. The westerlies blow from the subtropical high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt. And in the northern hemisphere, it is known as prevailing southwesterlies. And in the southern hemisphere, when it blows from the northeastern sides to the southwestern sides, then it is known as the prevailing northwesterlies. In the northern hemisphere, it is known as prevailing southwesterlies. In the southern hemisphere, it is known as prevailing northwesterlies. Okay. In the southern hemisphere, as we will notice, there are no large land masses between the 40 degree latitude and the 70 degree latitude to break the flow of the westerlies, because within the movement of air or wind, if there is any solid body, then the wind may be broken out. But in between 40 degree to 70 degree latitudes, if you follow the world map, in your chapter there is a world map and it is already located that in between 40 degree to 70 degree latitude there are no about some land masses to break that flow of these westerlies. In these latitudes, therefore, the westerlies pick up great force and speed between 40 degree to 70 degree. They blow with such a force that they are known as the roaring 40s in the 40 degree belt. Okay, in the 40 degree belt, it is between 30 degree to 60 degree. So in this portion, this is known as the roaring 40s. Then the furious 50s and the screeching 60s. This zone is very stormy region, because at that region there is no land masses to break the flow of the wind. That's why at that region they blow with such a very great force. Okay. That's why 40 degree, 50 degree and 60 degree is known as respectively roaring 40s, furious 50s and screeching 60s. So these are about the westerlies. Now we will read about the polar winds. Polar winds, the polar easterlies are permanent winds that blow from the polar high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt. Look at the arrow. These winds are blowing from polar high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt, right? And in the north they are called the polar low pressure belt, and in the south they are known as the in the northern side they are called the polar northeasterlies, and in the southern portion they are known as the polar southeasterlies. These winds are very cold, as you know that that region always receives the sunlight in extremely slanting manner. Okay, now these are the main gists of the permanent winds. Now we will discuss about the periodic winds. The periodic winds further categorized into two types of winds, that is monsoon wind and the land and sea breeze. That is number 1 the monsoon, and number 2 land or sea breeze. Okay, so why these winds are known as the periodic wind, not permanent, right? That's why its name is periodic or seasonal winds. And this type of winds blow without fail at a certain time of the year or day, but they do not go permanently like the planetary winds. Seasonal winds can change their direction suddenly or deflect from their original path. This is the main difference between permanent and periodic winds, because we have read that in permanent winds always blow throughout the year in a same direction, but periodic winds can deflect their direction, okay, from their original path because of seasonal variations in temperature or pressure. Periodic winds are mainly caused by the unequal heating and cooling of the earth's surface. Unequal cooling or heating of the earth's surface, because not all the earth's surface is getting the sunlight in the same manner. So that's why this term we have used, the unequal heating and cooling, and due to the surface variation in atmospheric pressure also. If it will come that write the two examples of the periodic winds, then you can write that the monsoon and the land breeze or sea breeze. What is about monsoon? The monsoon are winds that blow in the tropics. They are rain bearing winds. Yes, in the monsoon season, now the monsoon season is going on. Now it is in the month of July, the very end of July, and not only July, the very first week of the August. So now the monsoon season is going on, and this is a rain bearing wind. That's why very frequently we are feeling the rainfall in the outside, right? And it has a very importance to the area over which they flow. The monsoon are caused by the differential heating of the land and sea. They are especially well developed over the Indian subcontinent. In the summer months, the interior parts of the Asian landmass get heated instantly, leading to the development of a strong pocket. Strong pocket means this pocket is created by the low pressure. So if any area the low pressure created, then the surrounding cooler air always try to cover up that area, that pocket, that blank pocket. So that's why monsoon winds are created, okay. Because of which conditions of high pressure prevail here. The low pressure trough over the Asian landmass pulls the southeast trade winds towards it. As soon as the southeast trade winds cross the equator, they are subjected to the Coriolis force and are deflected to the right, because we have read that what is about Coriolis force and what is about Farrell's law. Okay, in the northern hemisphere it is deflected in the right side, in the southern hemisphere it is in the left side. They now approach the Indian subcontinent from the southwest and are therefore known as the southwest monsoon. This monsoon, when the winds blows from this side, southwestern sides to the northeastern sides, then the southwestern monsoons are created. These winds pick up copious amounts of moisture. This winds has, copious means a large amount. This wind has a large amount of moisture, okay, full of moisture. As they blow over the Indian Ocean, when these rain-bearing monsoon winds reach the Indian subcontinent, they bring heavy rainfall to most parts of the country and to several parts of Southeast Asia and southern China. I have drawn this line within our Indian subcontinent, but if we follow within the world map, then we can see that from this portion, when the southwestern winds reaches into the Indian subcontinent, then in our part of country, we feel the monsoon season or rainy season. Okay. Now, what is about land and sea breeze? So, follow this diagram. Roughly, I have drawn here a diagram, and this two diagram, it is in the daytime and it is in the night time. Okay, this it will be night. Okay, so in the daytime we are observing that the sea breeze are blown, and in the night time the land breeze are blown. Now, what is about sea breeze and land breeze? Land and sea breezes blow along coastal areas. Coastal area means which area has a seaside or ocean, that area is known as the coastal area. So along the coast during daytime, the land gets heated up faster. Why faster? Because land is a solid thing, and solid thing always traps the heat in faster manner than the liquid thing. So than the sea. As a result, high pressure prevails over the sea and low pressure over the land. Low pressure over the land. There is a high pressure and there is a low pressure in the daytime. Therefore, the wind blows from the sea to the land. When the wind blows from the sea to the land, this is a sea and this is land. From the sea to the land, then in the daytime it is known as the sea breeze. And the opposite thing is happened in the night time. In the night time, the land cools down faster than the sea. The area of high pressure shifts over the land. Since the sea takes a long time to cool down and is therefore still relatively warm, low pressure prevails over the water body. Okay, so therefore the wind blows from which side? From land to the sea. This is sea and this is land. In the night time, the winds blows from the land side to the sea side. This is known as the land breeze. So these are the main things of the sea breeze and the land breeze, and these two are also the examples of periodic winds. Now later we will discuss about the local winds. In our chapter, there are mainly 4 types of local winds. That is Lu, Harmattan, Fawn and Chinook. What is about local winds? When the winds are known as its local places and in a unique or certain well-defined area, then these winds are known as the local winds. They blow over a small area for a particular period, not through the year. Okay, they affect only the local weather condition of that place. They are known by different names in different parts of the world. Actually, local wind has different types of name. Okay. So, firstly, we will discuss about the Lu. Lu is a hot and dry, dusty winds that blow in the northern plains of India during the summer months. This Lu is naturally we hear in the summer months. It originates from the deserts of Rajasthan and carries the sands. As these winds blown from the deserts area, so that's why that wind carries some amount of sands of the desert to the alluvial plains of the Ganga. It causes a lot of hardship to the local people because that wind is very hot, dry and dusty. Okay. Next, the Harmattan or the Doctor. This wind is also known as the Doctor wind. Why? Because it's a dry, dusty wind that blows over northwestern Africa. It blows south from the Sahara Desert north towards the Gulf of Guinea between the end of November and the middle of March. It carries the sand of the Sahara for long distances, sometimes even to North America. The dust carried by the Harmattan can cause severe visibility problems in areas. Okay. And where it blows, however, this cool dry wind also brings relief from the humid heat of the West African coast. We know that this wind is very dry and dusty in nature, but this cool dry wind also brings relief from the humid heat of the West African coast. That's why the another name of the Harmattan is the Doctor wind. Next, the Fohn. It is a general term for any warm, strong and dry local wind that blows down the slope of mountains. It was originally a term used for local winds that blew down the European Alps. Fohn type winds can often raise the temperature in places over which they blow by as much as 30 degrees centigrade in just a few hours. It is also known for their drying effect and the way they make snow cover disappear rapidly. If any area has a snow cover, then because of its drying nature or warm nature, that snow cover disappear rapidly. Okay. Next, the Chinook. It is a Fohn type local wind which blows in the eastern flank of the Rockies and mountain chain in North America. It is a hot and dry wind and its onset results in the melting of snow in this area. So there is a relation between Fohn and Chinook. The characteristics are also the same, but in different area the name is also different. In one area it is known as the Fohn, and in the eastern flank of the Rockies it is known as the Chinook, but some characteristics or features are in the same in nature. Okay. So these are the main things of our chapter, the atmospheric pressure and winds. Okay. So from this chapter we have to read the pressure definition, the unit, different types of instruments which we are using for measurement of pressure, and different types of factors which influence our atmospheric pressure. Measure 4 pressure belts, their diagram you have to practice, their distinctive features we also have to read, and then winds, different types of winds like periodic, permanent and local winds we also have to read. So I think I am clear about that chapter. Although we have any problems about this chapter, then you can also further contact with us, and then I think I can be clear with that. Okay. So thank you, students.